Hey.
It's already recording. Yeah. Wow. Hello. All right. We can switch to the microphone audio now.
Josh.
With me.
Woo. Yeah.
Check.
Check.
Oh,
there it is.
well, that was awesome. Let's give another big round of applause for Fernando Lopez, everybody. Wow, that was awesome. In case you guys don't know who I am, my name is Michael Envy. No, that is not my real last name, I wish. I'm also a filmmaker as well. I met Fernando a couple years ago and we worked on a couple projects. He was actually just in my last film, Dark Cherry. Anybody seen Dark Cherry? Any fans of Dark Cherry? Thank you. Well, hopefully if you guys are here in 2 months, hopefully I'll see you guys at the next premiere for me and my producer Matt right here, our next film, Barrett. Exciting, but we're not here to talk about Bear. We're here to talk about the Rendezvous Vendetta. This was awesome. Fernando, first of all, I want to say, great film. Really loved it.
Oh, that's flattering. Thanks. I'm always my worst critic, so that's why I sometimes duck out, because I want you guys to see how the reaction is. I heard laughter where it's supposed to be, so that's good. I'm very glad that happened. Yeah, this is my longest film, and it's a lot of, considering that this is the crew right here. We're a no-budget filmmaker, but I feel like this was very entertaining, and a lot of indie films, they can be kind of tedious in an artistic way. So I wanted this to be fun for everyone to watch it, and regardless if it's like Hollywood or indie or whatnot, I think it's a good time. This is one of those things I can watch objectively and be very proud of it. I try to put some heart and some comedy. I think everyone did fantastic. And most of the main cast weren't able to come. We have a couple, so I was going to do some quick Q&A, and I figured Michael would like to ask some questions.
Absolutely.
I invite, if you guys want to come up here.
Absolutely.
We got a couple others that are coming. Let's see. Rico, you want to come? Where are you? Yeah, come on up. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, this was an awesome turnout. I want to thank all you guys, for coming out. I know there's a lot of things to be doing on a Saturday, but the fact that you guys came out to support a big film. By the way, this movie was better than the movie that came out yesterday. What was that? The Mummy?
Oh, do you think that?
Well, actually, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just going based on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, but Fernando, so this was just such a really fun movie. This really brings it back to like a lot of old school 90s action films, something that you would see Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, or nowadays Jason Statham would do. What are some of like the inspirations? Like what are some of like the type of action movie stars you grew up watching that kind of inspired you to want to do these kinds of movies?
So when I was growing up, I'm from San Francisco originally, and I watched a lot of martial art films, and I used to be into karate and doing high kicks, but unfortunately my back is all messed up, and I can't really do those as well anymore, so I started boxing at Onyx Boxing, and yeah, I've been using influence from Korean action cinema. I'm a big dude, so it's kind of hard for me to do these because Aaron is very Sammo Hong Kong style action. I'm more slower. I use my size to my advantage. So a lot of it, I just implement how I can actually fight instead of trying to do stuff that's out of my physical comfort zone. So that I guess it's a long version of my fighting style.
Yeah, and like I said, going back to like the old school 90s, kind of, people would probably say campy or like, those kind of action films. But those are the ones that I always miss the most, because nowadays everything is always just played so seriously. It's always relieving when you see movies like this. But going into this film, since this is a sequel to your very first film, The Rendezvous, I know there is supposedly talks about you writing a third film. Do you think if you got to that point, you would just be kind of done with the Luke Burgos story, or do you think there's more to tell? Would you be interested in doing like a spin-off about Danica? Like, where do you see this franchise going if you decide to continue with it?
Yes, I am writing a script called The Rendezvous Zero, and it's going in it's a different direction. I did not intend this was going to be like a trilogy type thing. I honestly was just, I did, my first two movies were modern westerns, and looking back, I felt like there were certain aspects I could have improved on, but I was just starting out. So I wanted to start off clean. I didn't expect it was going to kind of blow up, and I made new friends with Phoenix Independent wrestlers, and a lot of new talent that liked what I was doing. And one of the things that they're really good at is story, and I just work with what I have around me, like neon lights, and not everything has to be a gimmick of like cowboys or whatnot. I like heroes and villains, good guys, or bad guys may become good. That's kind of a hint what happens in the third movie. I don't think it's a huge spoiler, but there are certain people that were bad in this film become good. There might be a Suicide Squad type element about this. Once I say I'm going to do something, it'll happen. So people that were bad guys here, they could come back and be good. It also depends on like availability of certain people. But yes, there's a lot of stuff we can do, and Matt and I have discussed this privately. We don't post too much about it because I don't want people to like copy us exactly. But there's a lot of good elements for growth. It's kind of like Invincible, if anyone's seen the show Invincible, where like you get
great show.
Yeah, you get like characters that pop up for a little bit and then they get expanded on in the future. That's kind of the direction I'm going for, without giving away too much. But I already talked to a lot of these individuals sitting here, so there is a plan, and even some of the individuals that are sitting in the audience without giving much. So I want you all to anticipate it a little bit.
Absolutely, man. So my next question is actually going to be a combination. It would be with, I think Andreas and Rico would be the ones to answer these ones a lot better. So the rooftop scene I thought was probably the most fun. I mean, this film is filled with a lot of great action sequences, but you guys filmed on that roof, and obviously there's no insurance. You guys aren't really, you guys are just kind of like helping out Fernando. There's like no insurance or anything like that. So of course, was there anything that felt kind of dangerous about doing that scene, or do you feel like it was something that you guys were able to kind of just communicate with and knew exactly how you can do it safely? Was there anything about that sequence that kind of made you go, whoa?
Good question. No, I would say honestly, we worked really well together, good improv and everything, so there was nothing that could risk anything dangerous up there, it was pretty straightforward. Only crazy thing I would say is I did lose those earrings that day. I have not had those earrings since then, so I'm gonna need me a new pair. But no, overall it was a lot of fun, man, to do that scene, just go on the roof and just get a little fight choreographed in, and then as soon as he told us that we were throwing in some comedy into it, I loved it. Just the fact that, we're sitting there trying to look like we're trying to look around the corner. You got this big giant dude just sneaks up from behind us and takes us out. It was pretty hilarious, man, so I loved it. What do you think, bro?
Man, I would say the roof. That was nerve-wracking because me in the first scene where we fought, I let him punch me in my stomach. I wanted to take the fall. So and then when we got to the roof, he was like, "Don't do that here because we might fall through." And I'm like, "Okay." So I was kind of nervous on that, but overall it was great. Like I said, the choreography with Fernando, Dre was perfect. So I loved it.
Yeah, it's a great sequence. Next question I got is specifically for Austin. So now, your character had a very minor role in the first one, but in this one, it definitely seems like there's a lot more. It's still minimum, but it feels like there's a lot more to the emotional weight of Luke and basically not really having a lot of friends and kind of just being alone. Is there anything about your real life experience that you kind of put into this role, or what did you kind of take from this character?
Well, I guess considering that Fernando and I both served in the Marine Corps together, taking my experiences as a Marine leader in combat and using that as being a mentor, because that's kind of what Mark's role is. You know, Mark is a mentor to Luke, not just from the Marine Corps days, but also from some of their other past days and doing, you know, the secret school stuff. So I took that as a way to still be that mentor to as Mark to Luke. So in reality, I wasn't really playing as Mark. I was playing as myself. You know, Fernando wrote the lines, but at the same time, I just tapped into what I did as a leader in combat, as a leader in general, and it just felt very organic and natural between Fern and I, just because we've been there, we've done that.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, you guys do a really good job at, because like I said, there's very minimum screen time in this movie and even the first one, but I thought you guys completely nailed that. It was one of my favorite aspects of the first, and especially this film, because Fernando, I don't know, you know, what your original plan was for this movie, or if this was exactly how it was. The first one definitely just had more of a straightforward story, but what I really liked about this movie is that it didn't really feel like just a movie that had one singular story just going at it. It was almost, it kind of reminded me of like the A-Team, where like every sequence was just Luke going on different missions. Was that kind of like what you were going for, or was the original first draft of the script completely different?
I would say, so the first film was just, okay, I'm gonna make my version of The Fugitive, and it kind of grew into more of, okay, we have an opportunity to, let's make space for you, here, after you. Yeah, I would say that, for the most part, yes, I write based off what I have access to. And I don't always have the budget for explosions or robots yet. Hint, hint. But yeah, no, I think what's cool about the Luke Burgos character is that you could kind of put him in a different scenario and meet different characters. And these guys could go off on their own thing, so it becomes what I call the